Ethan out or B.
Okay. Awesome. And do we have 5 at our group B?
There's 11 at
Okay.
And then my third one is senior.
It's going to be 18. And Martinez with a Thank you.
I think it's
They were both very good. And you.
I feel that it's sad.
yeah. Yes,
Yeah. And then we had two, we had two. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Okay. And then we need one. Oh, 4, yeah, okay.
Okay, well, there's another one out here. Is it something? I know, yeah, I feel like I have some out there. I don't want to, and I have to take that in for to check out. But yeah, we'll see, we shall look at. You were still on that, yeah. The current, yeah, I was wanting to go, I think I resisted it, so I really wanted to, yeah. Here. She actually looked into it, and said, oh, because for that one, I have to take it here, and I thought.
No, that's Hunter.
I'm sorry, Hunter.
Yeah.
Michael back there.
Weird in my middle name.
And I'm nominating them for you, John. The change, and they can work.
Okay.
We all happy with the election result? I'm gonna run, but well, I think careful what you wish.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. It's like. When you pick a state, when you pick a state to, it's not very big.
So, right.
Thing is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Elon's office. And then Dana White came on and we started just shouting on for the podcasters. Yeah.
If you find an imagination, let's feel for what?
I agree. And inflation hurt people. Which is not inflation, but they're. If you're not buying version.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, they want to know.
I am.
So then we setting board members,
A lot of people
may not,
but they,
Oh,
you know, they may not have motions and they may not, but they get gas and prices.
They're never said that.
But it's like,
Wow.
oh, yeah. And so anybody that I'm.
Yeah, it's hard.
There's no way we can, we're gonna be better off in 4 years than we are.
But,
Here, but who said it?
no, I didn't.
New World Order.
Oh.
That's what he said.
You know, I said, one thing. It's really good with American exceptionalism. Americans are exceptionally dull. Scale as we feel.
The quick turn.
we're 7:00, we have.
He's gonna.
How about that?
And I'll
An amendment will change the number of terms for a second one. Amendment or
Yeah.
third,
No,
You're gonna have Michael call.
33. Correct.
All Sanders.
large. Large budget people that voted here won't vote.
I didn't feel like I didn't think it was a way.
Advocate.
Oh, right. Right.
To,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll keep going. For his, for whatever teacher who might be with.
Do an exciting role, but they throw them off.
All right.
We'll get them up.
Can everyone get close to settling, please? Because it's 7:01. And I'm not running the meeting, I'm just yelling that out.
Which I was getting ready to do.
I know, but what I do.
All right, thank you, everyone. I'm going to call the meeting at 7:02. We have quorum in the room. Thank you all for sitting and being here. Are we going to read the agenda?
Well, we're gonna call roll.
Yes. Hang on a second.
Okay, so, Paula's trying to get us to settle, Laura's trying to get us to settle. Laura is gonna remind everybody of some protocols that we're practicing because of the hybrid Zoom and wanting to make sure that everything we say can be heard by the folks on Zoom. So we need to be really careful to speak one at a time. We need to do what I forgot to do. Each time somebody in the room speaks, say, this is Laura, or this is Tom, this is Chris, this is Mary, because the transcript just says it's UNC, and we kind of want to keep track of who said what during the meeting. We have a chair sitting behind Ed Saunders. It's not for someone to sit in, it's our magic chair, as it were. If somebody from the back of the room is needing to do a presentation or say, give a talk, need to stand right in front of that chair rather than talk from the back of the room, because the Zoom won't pick it up easily. And was there one other protocol? Well, yeah, let's try not to have the crosstalk. We've been trying hard, but it's really difficult when you're on Zoom to hear anything when there's more than one person speaking. I learned and following from both of us being on Zoom for two separate meetings. And I turn it over to our president.
All right, and so I'm going to turn it over to Michael to call roll.
All right, I will take roll in the future. I'm also going to do your board position just to confirm, because we have a new BAC. Joshua Pierce, at large group A.
He's here.
We just arrived.
Oh, he's online.
Okay, Dolores Spear, at large group A. Here. Thank you. Hunter Reese, at large group A. Here. Candace Jackson, at large group A. Here. Thank you. Laura Myers, at large group A.
Here.
David O.C. at large group A.
That's a,
Awesome. All right. Joe King, at large group B.
Absolutely.
no,
No,
Oh, he's online.
on you.
Oh, I see you. Okay.
Did you say Show King? Did
excellent.
you say Show King?
Yes. We know you're here.
All right, Ed Saunders, at large group B.
Here.
Sarah Long Henry, at large group B.
Here.
Paula Sutter, at large group B.
Here.
And Herbert Martinez, at large group B. Here. Grace, you, Region 1, Rep A.
Here.
I am Region 2, Rep A. Kareem,
Here, I'm online.
thank you. Teresa, Region 3, Rep A.
Here.
Michael Kimbrough, Region 3, Rep B. Present. Chris Carlson, Region 4, Rep A.
Here.
Diane Cooper, Region 5, Rep A. Christopher, Region 5, Rep B. Betty Anderson, Region 6, Rep A.
She is excused.
Okay.
She may come on Zoom, but she having.
Marco Ramirez, Region 6, Rep B. Here. And Vander.
Where'd it go?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oscar.
Sorry, I'm figuring out my camera right now.
You're good. That could be cool.
Okay, thank you.
So I'll have to tell the folks. We have.
Oh, yes. For the people online, we have quorum in the room. And so, we will not be accounting your votes. Because we have enough here in person to vote. And we're moving on, what is the next thing?
Review the
Oh,
agenda.
review the agenda.
Mhm.
Gonna review the agenda.
During that dinner.
This iron. Okay, here it is.
All right. So, can somebody who's online let us know if you can see the agenda?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can you see me?
No,
Oh, okay. Okay, I was testing the camera. Okay, can you see me now?
no.
No? You can't?
You can see like
It's kind of black at the bottom.
What
Yeah.
about here, right now?
Worse.
You're black.
We can see
Oh,
your name.
no. Okay, let me see what's happening. Okay.
We can hear you fine.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Okay, we're going to move on.
Well, we're gonna look through the agenda.
Oh, we haven't finished?
We haven't even started. We have time to three. Okay, we're going through the agenda quickly. It's a regular agenda. Corinne, can you at the moment mute or?
Yeah, oh,
Thank you. So after we review the agenda, we have public comments and announcements on items not on the agenda. Then we have government agency reports and comments. Then executive committee, we have president's report, which will include potentially appointing an ad hoc committee to review our standing rules, compliance with the bylaws. Treasurer's report, which will include approval of several MERs, as well as a discussion quick about our inventory report and board member reimbursements if as required. Vice president report, secretary report will have minutes to approve. Then a longer discussion with our election committee chair with reports and motions. Funding requests, one from World Harvest, one for South Seas House, Benny H. Potter Park, and then a potential community impact statement from the and other committee reports, communications, a little report from homelessness committee, which is not on the agenda, but under other, and any old business. Is there any questions? Good. And we're gonna try and do this quick. Okay.
So we've done the review now. Any public comments or announcements that are not on the agenda? Okay, One public comment I would like to make is to say thank you to Grace, who ran for the CB10 seat. And we just say, you know, it didn't work out, but congratulations and keep working at it. We're moving on now. Let's see,
No.
yes, the government reports, CB10 report. Okay, we don't have a rep done report. Alfonso?
There he is.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So from the department, I know there's a few announcements as sent out from city clerk's office regarding elections. There was an email and the department did follow up with another email on directions on how to proceed with the selection process. If your NC does decide that that is an option, I can explain that later on during your meeting because I think it's added on the agenda. Another quick announcement I have from the department is on February 22nd, we're gonna have the youth conference. This is gonna be the second one. We had one last year and we decided to do another one this year. The main point of contact for that is my partner from the Congress of Neighborhoods. It's Erica Gatica. If you have any questions or if you know of youth that are interested in joining, again, it's at City Hall. Last year, we had the mayor's office go provide training. We had the youth development department, which is the newest department in the city, do like a 4-hour training on civic engagement with youth. It was a pretty interesting event. It was an all-day event. Food was provided. So it was breakfast and drinks. Another quick announcement I have is there is a 25 years of neighborhood council system exhibition at City Hall. So that's actually on the bridge. 25 years of
Repeat what you said, 25 years.
so at City Hall, there's gonna be an exhibit, right? If you're familiar with City Hall, when you go from City Hall East to City Hall North, or no, City Hall South to City Hall North, there is a bridge from the second floor of City Hall East to the third floor of City Hall. In that bridge area, there's gonna be an exhibit hall. It's gonna celebrate 25 years of the neighborhood council system. Can you hear me? Was that clear enough? Okay, so I will send out an email. The department has sent out a few emails too on how to sign up and submit pictures, documents, anything you might have that you want shared there. And the deadline to submit anything is on November 11th. And you can send it to me and I can help you guys out too. Another thing, it's still a work in progress, but I do want to give you the heads up. We might have a celebration of 25 years of the neighborhood council system at City Hall. Not sure what the date is yet, but I do know that the department's working on that. And I'll let the neighborhood council know what the date is as soon as it's announced, okay? Vandra, I do see your hand up. I can answer any questions.
Yeah, so I would love to know more information about the youth program, the youth training you mentioned. Where can I find more information about that?
Is Vander signed up with the public email? Laura?
I don't think I am.
Oh, that's a good segue, actually. And if you could send me, or if you could just shoot me an email at hunter.reese@unc.com.
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
will,
who's this speaking right now?
oh, this is Hunter Reese.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Yeah, just send me an email at hunter.reese@unc.com.
I can find your email on the website.
And I'll get you set up on the website and get you an email.
Thank you so much, I appreciate that.
So I'm posting that to chat. It's for those online, if you want to check your chat.
Yes, Reese is REIS. And then Ed has a hand up.
Ed Simon speaking. My question is, how are you defining youth? I mean, is there an age? I mean, what are we calling youth?
That's a good question. So from, okay, so I'm looking, 'cause every event is different, and every neighborhood council is different. So it's gonna be from uh 14 through 17, and we have 100 seats open. So Vander, I just sent you an email. I mean, I added my email to the chat, so if you can send me a quick email and I'll send you the info right now, okay?
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So any other questions?
I have a question, for the.
Yes, oh, sorry.
Okay, all right, thank you. Hey, Alfonso, during our 20th anniversary, the neighborhood council received several, certificates, really beautifully framed, one from our Congresswoman, Dove.
And Senate. And Senate.
Yes, and our senators, that's right. So we're going to, they're framed and they're in storage or somewhere right now. Maybe those are the type of items that you're talking about having, along that walkway.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to send me like I'll send out the email so you can submit that suggestion, and we'll get in contact with you, okay?
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Sure.
Any other questions? Thank you, Alfonso.
All right, you're welcome. I'll stick around just in case any other questions come up, okay?
Oh, that'll be great.
All right.
Any other government officials? All right, then we're moving on to executive committee, starting off with myself. We have an ad hoc committee and we want to, I'm sorry. We want to appoint an ad hoc committee to review our standing rules to make sure that they are consistent with and add a youth advocate position. That's what we want to do. And I understand we have a couple of volunteers already. Teresa, are you one? And Laura? Okay, are there any other volunteers for the ad hoc committee to review standing rules? Okay, Chris Carlson and Hunter, wonderful. Hunter. All right, are there any other? Oh, okay. Okay, there.
Okay, so Max can be six.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, well, that's fine. All right. Thank you all very much. And, okay, I think anything else I have to say is later on in the agenda. So that is my report at this time. We're moving on to the treasurer's report.
So in Kim's group, do you have your own hotspot? Did you want to log in or how do you want to do it?
I'm on the same internet, but.
Right, but you're not on the Zoom. So I have the two NPRs. So should I just do it?
Diane, Cooper, this year.
I'm in charge of about 45 minutes, so it's still running. I'll turn it on in about 10 minutes. It's been running for about 30. So. Oh, I can't do this.
Okay, you're up.
All right.
If you could say who you are.
Yes. Oh, hi, everyone. Candace Jackson, treasurer. And today's treasurer report update is short sweet. We just have to talk about the MER for September and October, and then a little bit about inventory. So for our MER in September, we spent
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, no, what just happened here?
It disappeared. There it is.
yeah. So for the month of September, we spent $1,311.68. The $2,000 outstanding for events that we funded that will show up on the next one in October when we look at it. But if we go down the report here, we have refreshment, we have the case for the owl that we got, a wonderful owl. It's up close HD. We also paid our public storage and gave the money to West Adams Avenue, which I still need another invoice for me to do the other.
Okay,
So we still owe West Adams $750. So whoever knows, gotta send me the invoice.
They were supposed to send. I can find it there.
So if you can nudge somebody to send it so they can get the rest of the money, that'd be cool. That month, we also voted to, give some money to the LA Korean Festival Foundation. And, we made a donation to the, Congress of Neighborhood event of $500. So didn't spend too much in September. And then we just want to do the BAC for. each
yeah,
one.
we have to do
Okay,
it.
so, this is the budget for how much we spent in September. Thoughts, questions?
Stop the share.
All right, I move that we approve the monthly expenditure report for September 2024.
I second.
All right, Joshua?
But we can have both,
Oh, right.
because online can vote.
Oh. Just leave it blank.
Blank?
Because we don't know, we still haven't told us, this is Laura speaking, the clerk still has not told us how we're to count the votes or to count the non-votes when board members are online and they're ineligible to vote, because they don't like to use the ineligible category, but they haven't created a new VAC with a new category. So for now, just leave it blank.
And have the count to the added. They do.
Well, they got mad about that too. So by way of explanation is that we have quorum in the room. So people on Zoom can't. It's just right, yeah.
So if we have quorum in the room, then we can count the people here.
Yeah, all of the people here.
Yeah, we don't even acknowledge them.
Yeah, just go right past them, unfortunately, don't mark them. Don't mark them absent,
Right.
don't mark them.
Well, that's why I copied over the
Yeah.
role as a template, so I'll have to.
No, just leave them blank.
Okay,
That's,
Continue.
just leave them blank.
all right, Dolores,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Candace,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Edward,
Yes.
Sarah, Paula,
Yes.
Herbert,
Yes.
Grace,
Yes.
and yes, Kareem. Sorry, looking at this screen, not that screen. Kareem,
Yes.
Michael, yes, Chris,
Yes.
Diana, Marco.
Yes.
Great, five I have.
Okay, and then for the,
October,
Yeah.
we do have October.
yeah, so we also have to approve the October merge. We did not spend a whole lot of money in October. Most of the money went to the Korean Foundation Festival in the Congress of Neighborhoods that we approved the month before. So then they actually got their money, so they got rid of the outstanding amount that we had in September. So, we have about $34,126.84 left in our total budget. And the only other expense that we spent money on is our normal public storage expense and the refreshment for our general meeting in October. Oh, yes, that's it. So I move that we.
Totally.
Hi, Candace, can you,
Identify.
sorry, it's Teresa Mason. The video that we just approved had $1,500 for Canadian festival. Yeah. And it appears that this one also has that. So why do we have two? So it shows us what, so it shows us on the report the month that we approved it, and then it'll go under outstanding. And then when they actually get the money, when the city disperses the check, then it'll show up again, but see how it's gone from the outstanding part, because that's where they actually got from the box. So I know it looks that way. I looked into that earlier this year because it looked like we were double paying things and that, the way that came in. Okay,
Are you making a motion?
yes, I make a motion. I move to approve the monthly expenditure report for October 2024.
Second. Change my typing.
Candace moved, Dolores seconds, just so I can put my notes. Sorry, Dolores, second.
Thank you.
I will call the roll. So Dolores,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Candace,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Edward,
Yes.
Sarah, Paula,
Yes.
Herbert,
Yes.
Grace.
Yeah.
I'm yes. Teresa? Oh. Michael?
Yes.
Chris?
Yeah.
Diane?
Yeah.
Market?
Yes.
Great.
We have a question, Teresa?
Okay, we're still on your report. Do we have any red, marks on our transmission?
No.
Red marks, no? No, because not with you, but we have, when we delay, uploading our VAC and our, reimbursement, we get a red flag. If we don't do that within 30 days, or to explain because it's happened occurred, when we find something, we have 30 days to upload the receipt for that item to and VAC. And also, if we don't do our NER on time, we get a red flag. But you said we don't have. We don't, because so we had a meeting that didn't have quorum, and we had a special meeting in that time. So there's nothing that's red flag for the portal, it's an emergency. Now, when we approve it, now we can do it, and I can upload both of them, and then we won't have to. We don't have.
Right.
Yeah, but we don't have a meeting, we just, you know.
This is Laura.
Also the same.
This is Laura. The September MER will be due by November 10. So that means we definitely have to have the BAC signed. Like, you know, ASAP for that one. But it's due, MERs are due the 10th of the month, 2 months later. So sometimes we really close. Like
Hey
this
Laura,
one.
it's Alfonso.
Yeah.
Just so you know, when you guys are talking, and you're far away from the mic, I think that's when you're having audio issues. So just a heads up. I think you asked me for, and I think that's what's going on. That's why
So
people
you can you hear it when I speak or when Paula speaks?
Yeah, it was only when I think someone had their hair turned around, and that's when it sounds muffled. But when you talk to the mic directly, it sounds
Yes.
perfectly fine.
Oh, when you turned around to answer Teresa.
Okay. Do you
Yeah.
want to restate the conversation? Or?
There, I can hear you fine right there.
Okay, so Teresa just asked because one of the murders that we did was for September, and that's 2 months ago. So she wanted to know if we were red flagged in the system, and we are not red flagged. And then Laura just explained that we have 2 months to upload the MERS
To the 10th of.
to the 10th of the following month. And the MERS was delayed because we did have a quorum for one of those meetings, and then it got pushed back to a 17th. So.
Yeah, so usually the city clerk's office would send you a letter saying that like a notice, I believe, and they'll send you the first one. After 3 of those is when your funds become frozen. So as of right now, you don't have any, so it's not a big deal.
Right, but this is Laura again, we were beginning to rack them up, because we were a day late or 2 days late.
Yeah.
On things.
Yeah, as long as you respond to your funding rep, Anna, it's Anna, right? Cordosa?
Yes.
Yeah, so as long as you respond to them and let them know that you're working on it for the next meeting, that's all they want.
Right.
They won't freeze your funds. That's the main concern, right? Not getting your funds frozen, I believe.
Right, but we're not anywhere close to that, but
Well,
we
we could be because we're not, because we've had explanations, but at some point we can't keep giving them explanations. We just need to be on time.
Yep.
You know, bottom of it. So, you know, and this is both for uploading receipts and uploading anything else. It's both things. So, yeah.
All right, thank you. Chris?
To that point, if we have to upload receipts in a timely manner, then when we're distributing money, we need to make sure that the recipients understand that there's a window which they need to turn the paperwork in, or they will not be necessarily guaranteed funds. Right. Yeah, it's not those receipts. It's again, our issue has been with the BACs that attach to receipts or attached to the NEOs. We're trying to redo a system that we had done pretty well, but we haven't told new people. And we're working hard to get it resolved.
Our administrative packet, has that the new one been signed and uploaded, yet? No.
Did, you people online hear what she said?
This is Teresa. Marco, this one is activated, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no, the issue was when, Minister.
this is, Teresa Masonette. I was asking about our admin packet. When we will have that signed, and
we just have to get the signature page and re-sign it and upload it, because we haven't brought any changes to the board yet. That's on the schedule for December.
No, we need to get this done before that.
Right. So it's the same package, so nothing changes, we just have to update the signature.
okay. Well, if I could just say a couple of things have changed, because I'm no longer the signatory.
That's,
Yes, and, the BAC for that, we've already approved the BAC. So now, so we have a BAC, we just need to have the admin packet re-signed and changed to like the two.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
One more thing
Inventory.
about,
Inventory.
inventory. So, there is a inventory committee, I guess, that myself and Teresa and Everett, thank you for volunteering. So we're supposed to do inventory from now until December.
Right,
And
and
then
I'm
once,
sharing the old inventory.
so, the clerk's office sent us a list of the, things that we should have, or at least have to account for. Some of those things we talked about in executive are not quite updated yet, so.
Yeah, raising my hand. Alfonso and everyone else, I'm sharing the actual inventory list, the one that is on the clerk's website that we turned in 2021. And in it, we indicated that we have missing things. Remember, there were things that were simply gone. And so this is what I'm showing on the screen is the one that we voted on, turned in 2021. It does not match the inventory list that the clerk and Dunn shared back with us. And they're still asking, are you missing anything? It's like, well, yeah, we are, but how many years do we have to keep telling you we're missing things? So, so part of our challenge is Alfonso is he still here?
Yes.
Yes, Alfonso is. Why did we get sent an inventory list that does not match the inventory list that is actually posted on the clerk's website that we had submitted?
I want to comment on that before Alfonso.
Sure.
You may remember, we had a storage facility that
I know.
submitted these items right there, and we didn't file a police report, and when we submitted that, inventory, letting them know that if those items were missing, they did not approve it. It stayed in their pending file. So.
Yeah,
now-
I wouldn't necessarily know that. I was not
Well,
on
it's-
executive at, no,
Wait, Justin, one at a time.
I did, but. It's
Let him finish his comment.
So it remained in the pending file, so every 2 years, as some of you may know, we have to do an inventory. So. Because they didn't reconcile it, they allowed us to continue to have it pending, and we didn't say anything. That's the only documentation they have, that's why they think that we still have these items, even though we documented that they were missing. I think what we should do is allow me and Candace, Deborah, Hunter, go to storage, identify the things we have, and say, there you go, this is what we have. These other items no longer, they were destroyed, they don't fire, they happen, or rainstorm, they happen at the fire hydrants, that's it. And then, if necessary, follow up with, some kind of board action or something.
Right.
Alright.
The only thing I wanna say is, I do not recall them not, the inventory report not being approved. But then again, it was turned in toward the end of me, my cycle on the executive. Greg handled that. And, and I guess it flowed through to the next administration if it was turned down. I do not recall it being rejected. And Grace has her hand up.
Wait a minute, Candace, what was your comment?
Oh, so I'm on the portal now and it does still say pending review.
Okay, great.
Okay, I was gonna say, oh, this is a question to Alfonso. You're only required for 3 years for this inventory, isn't it? Like these items.
No, so anything that the NC purchases, they have to keep inventory of it.
Then what was it in the funding, that I just finished today to be able to vote? That said inventory, especially for electronics, is only for 3 years.
I think I'm not too sure what funding training you took, if you took the department one or
Oh, the department one, yep, to be certified.
because
Because
there's two different ones.
Wait, hold on, finish.
So from my understanding is that the NC has to keep whatever it keeps in storage, it has to keep inventory of that. And that I'm not sure what the training mentioned between, like, if you have to do it every 3 years, but all those items have to be accountable for. Grace, did that
No,
answer?
I know. So Alfonso, it was just that, it says for electronic materials, it's an inventory for 3 years, and it was really funny because it seemed like the city didn't care after 3 years for anything that was electronic.
I think so for 3 years, I think it's the documents, right? Any PDF and stuff like that. But I don't think it's electronics, like actual stuff like laptops and all that. You have to keep it locked up and stored for years. And even if it's not usable anymore, you still have to keep it stored. You can't just throw away items.
If it's no longer usable, we are allowed to recycle it. We just have to identify that it was recycled, and I don't know if there's a document that comes with that, but we can say that it was electronic, that were recycled.
Yeah, if you keep documents of it, but that's between you and the city clerk's office. Because they control your funds.
Alfonso, your name, Chris Carlson speaking. What seems kind of catches me on this whole thing, it seems that UNC has fully documented what they actually have. And why that list is in pending multi-years later is a problematic, because that's something at the done end of things, not something we control. We have submitted the paperwork that says, this is what we have, this is what happened to things we don't have. Why is it still pending years later?
So is it from the departments or from the city clerk's office? Because
From the city clerk's office.
yeah. So
Yeah.
sometimes when there's items missing, they do have a process. I know sometimes I had an NC where their storage unit burned down and they had to file a police report and do all that stuff, right?
Right.
So there is a process for it, and once it does get approved, either the investigation was ended and it was like, okay, all those items were burned. And so that's how they went through it that way. It really just depends on the circumstances. But I can reach out to Anna and see what's going on. Why is it not documented and what's going on? And I could give Paula a call, or the treasurer.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Now what about, we just had a suggestion of, we just go back and re-inventory and submit the report. And that is like, this is where we are right now. Is that amenable, or we're gonna wait for you to get back?
You can submit whatever you have right now and submit that, and they'll come back with questions, right? They're gonna ask you like, what about these items? And that's usually what happens. But again, this is a conversation that you should have with Anna and the city clerk's office.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
So the can we just remind me and everyone else, this is Laura speaking, who is on the inventory committee?
As of now, it is myself, Teresa, and Evan.
And Hunter. Okay. And I am not, Laura, I'm not on that committee, but I did make a commitment to reach out to Greg of Jackson to see if he has anything in his possession, because when we left the former Council District 10 field office in a 45-minute notification, just so everyone knows, if they have to get your stuff out of here, Greg took it all to his house, and I think most of it landed in our storage, but the electronics, which would be at this point mostly really old, like from 2011, he had, but the one item that might still be usable, I don't know when we would use it, is a projector.
Dolores speaking, I've been in contact with Greg, and we discussed the things that are in his possession, and we're trying to set up a meet date so he can turn the stuff over to me, because I want to turn my outreach keys over to the new outreach person. And I told him I wanted to settle everything out before I left.
Okay, so I imagine Dolores is reaching out to Greg, and Laura's out of the process completely.
Right.
Thank you.
So as soon as we meet up and I get my hands on the stuff, I'll put it in storage and then get a report for the next meeting.
Right. But again, most of it, with the exception of probably the projector, most of it is just whatever you might have is gonna be too old to do anything with.
He has all of our accommodations, our accommodations from the legislators.
Well, those are good.
Yeah.
But I mean, the old computer, he has the old computer, it's an old computer.
All right, we're moving on.
Yeah.
All right, and we have no other, the third item was board member reimbursement.
Do you have a receipt?
Yes,
And what was the total?
it's like 130 or something.
Really?
We have to go down and executive.
You're right, you're right.
We're appointing you permanently, refreshment provider.
Just forgot the line. I'm sorry.
It's just a list of all the items.
What does Greg do when he leaves that door? One. How much?
39.
139.
Okay.
139. If you have a picture of it,
I can put you,
that's
So you need to have the list of items and the.
it's itemized.
Oh, yeah, I see.
so, I move that we reimburse Michael, so. I move that we reimburse Michael Soder's County $139.39 for delicious refreshment. Second. Bye, Greg.
So Candace moved, Grace second.
All those in favor? Oh, we have something?
We need a BAC.
Oh, we need to be, yeah, because this is money, okay. Go ahead.
Phone callers,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Candace,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Edward. Yes. Sharon, Paul.
Did you say Paula?
Yes.
Yes.
Herbert,
Yes.
Grace,
Yes.
Anita, Teresa.
Yes.
Michael. Yes, with interest. Chris,
Yeah.
Diana.
Yes.
Marco. Yes.
All right, thank you, everyone. We're gonna move on in the agenda now. We're at Vice President report, Laura.
Well, I'll make it relatively quick. How nice that we have so many people in attendance
Yes.
tonight.
Very nice.
Very nice. And so we're trying to. We've had some issues with attendance. We've discussed it ad infinitum, but we're making it better. And then in terms of training, our newly appointed board members immediately took their trainings.
Oh,
Yeah. And is Show still here? Show has been attempting to take her training, but is still having problems with Cornerstone. No, I have seen the test results again, but I don't have the certificates. Alfonso, did you, I'm forgetting, Mario discussed this. Show sent you materials today after you and I spoke. So later in the afternoon, Show sent you training snapshots of both funding and for ethics. So
If I didn't receive anything from who was it?
Show King. She sent it about 4:30, 4:45.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Sorry. Yeah, I got it.
So she's still having, I mean, she's here on the call, but she's still having issues in Cornerstone completing to getting the certificate. So that, I mean, that's my report. I mean, we can't do anything in the room with that.
Yeah, so this is certificate's fine. It does have the date, it does show her name and the time. So usually we update the website every Monday and Friday. The reason why it will probably be updated tomorrow in the afternoon because all the trainings for the week are completed, and then we do it on Monday again because people usually take trainings over the weekend. So our website doesn't update daily. It updates those 2 days. So if it's not updated by Monday, Show King, shoot me another email and I'll reach out to our tech team, which is Kyle. And Laura, you talked to Kyle, right?
Copy, thank you.
I know that's the game.
all right, thank you.
I did send out an email with the rest of the people who haven't completed training, just so you know. Laura, I sent that with the NEA announcements today around 7 o'clock. So you'll probably see that.
Yeah, tomorrow. All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right, welcome.
We're moving on. Secretary's report, Marcos.
Yeah, well, that's sort of Laura. Let's find it. Go ahead and talk and say you did your first minute. I see.
What happened? Oh, we got the reports.
Yeah, the problem with this system is that it's here in the room.
Oh, Marco, you're waiting for the minute? Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so this is says, we call roll call, but it was here, Zoom people. We did not approve the agenda last time, so I went over the.
Yeah, we don't.
Because we didn't meet quorum, then we started late, and it was a whole mess. So we did go over the agenda, but we never approved it after we got the quorum.
Yeah, we no longer vote the approval anyway, because since it's posted publicly, we can't really change it.
Go ahead, Marco.
Didn't have any public comment, we have, government agency report, it's Alfonso, president report, treasurer report, August was approved. I'll go down.
Wait a minute, Candace, how do you spell your name?
Oh,
Okay, there's the N in there.
yeah, that's it.
Correct that.
I'll correct that.
Okay, moving on.
We had, president report, attendance and trainings,
Wasn't my nicer tonight.
yes. Then we have the, motion to, work to extend courtesy showcase completed trainings. And we approve the proposal for someone who.
And Dominic.
And someone who. We appointed candidates, so a lot of movement there. It's all there. We appointed, Vander Delman as the youth advocate. We had a presentation on the, planning and zoning committee for the ED1 updates. Discussion.
You could go a little back, someone was on it.
Well, so, yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Definitely, there's like a lot of movement there, so, okay, so we, Michael Dorfman resigned from his position to open up a space for the two, candidates that we had, we only have one position available.
Okay.
And then we gave him the, regional, well, we appointed him to the regional, position.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he's still legal.
Okay, then we approved the letter for, the ED1 projects. So,
We approved another letter.
we approved another letter for, the Expo Professional Disability Health projects. And, yeah, this is moved to ground here. Hearing was moved to another date. That's all I have on that. And we had a few committee reports, other committee reports, communications, the full, announcement. And then we have the emergency public safety emergency prep committee, which was changed the date for October. And we appointed, ever for the election committee chair. So,
Thank you.
I moved to approve the minutes. Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Questions?
No, not a question. We have to amend the spelling of Candace's name as well as in section 5, there's a misspelling, there's a typo. I think it was the word governance needs to be spelled properly, otherwise.
I'm having trouble scrolling upwards.
You can still. Okay,
That's why we're.
lawyers in 5.
Lawyer's mind.
Boy, you spotted that, huh? All right, thank you. This was in, you said we're fine.
Under executive,
It was just 5. I don't know where it was. Keep going down. It says governance.
Okay, there's.
So it's Candace's spelling. So keep going down.
oh, I,
It is a candid.
yes, oh, there it is,
B.
I see it. Widening,
Oh, yeah.
widening board,
Okay, all right, so those two corrections need to be made.
so the motion would be,
Those two corrections.
Well, you thought a form for this or it's
No.
just like I said.
No, minutes, application. And those.
but we need a second.
Second.
All right, all those in favor of approving the amended minutes, corrected minutes? All right, that motion passed.
That does have to be recorded in next month's minutes though.
Right.
You can write that down.
Is that a vote or a hand?
It's a comment. I just want to say, Marco, excellent job.
Yes.
I'm not sure how many, but it could be better than Sarah Long. I also want to say, I love the idea that you put the link there for Alfonso. Because I think that will help people in the future if they want to reach out the way that
Yeah.
Yay. A little, no, okay.
Okay.
All right, so are we moving on? Okay, so now we're in the hands of the election committee, who is chairing or leading that.
That is me.
Okay.
Hello. Hi, everybody. This is Edward Martinez, the chair of the elections committee.
Trump won.
Not that, don't put that on me, please. So we had a little bit of coming in with a lot of stuff going on. I'm gonna pass down these papers. Yeah, I'm gonna pass down some papers for the people online. That is on the packet. It's just some of the attachments that come in the elections committee stuff, but this is for the board members to kind of look around. It gives a little bit of the timeline for the neighborhood council elections that are coming up.
What do we, I don't know what.
Yeah, so it's in the packet. It's just you just have to scroll down all the way. You remember that? Yeah, it's on like page 30 something, yeah. So I printed those out for, yeah, for brevity. So there was a lot going on, basically, because, first the city clerk's office came and said that due to budget constraints, everything was gonna happen, by vote by mail. And so the elections for this coming, cycle, where everything was gonna happen by vote by mail, there was some people complaining and all this other stuff. So when Power LA sent the message on the 28th, I believe, of October, talking about giving an option to the neighborhood council to opt out of the election process and instead opt into a selection process. Those details did not come in that email. The elections committee met again, so this was like a third meeting to kind of discuss once we got approval or Empower LA send more details on what exactly elections versus selections were happening. The elections committee did meet and discuss this at length on the merits, the concerns, everything that came along with it on what it is. And I think Alfonso can actually give a little bit more insight on what election versus selection was. But the committee did move to recommend to the governing board to stay in the election process, just because selection does give the neighborhood council a lot of autonomy, but sometimes a lot of autonomy can also be dangerous in the sense that we might not be able to pull it off. In a norm, yeah, it's an enormous amount of work because the neighborhood council would be in charge of finding their own independent third party. They would have to host an event to do certain things. And so it came with a lot of work. And as the chair of the elections committee, I made this comment that said, hey, look, I can have confidence, but I'm not gonna get to the point of like, look, I'm gonna take this on when I had just basically come in and do all of this other stuff. So I would like the hand holding of Empower LA with the election process. So that is the first part of it. With that said, we did go into details of what we want to do for the elections. We selected a theme for this election cycle, which is called Activate. That is the theme overall.
I'm sorry, can you pull those things up? Well, I can't pull all of these things up because I don't have all of these
I
things.
did not, that is, I apologize. That is on me. I didn't send, I sent the budget report. I'm just kind of giving a brief overview. They are on the elections committee agendas and stuff. If you do want to go and look for those, they are there. We do have those things where we talked about the theme where it's called Activate, and what's passing around are basically the dates for to do your candidate filings, all that stuff that's coming along. We did go, thank you to Teresa, she went with me, and we went to Print Depot and talked about how much would it cost to do some flyers, to do some posters, also some adhesive stuff that we could put on the window out here, and some banners that we could put at South Seas House. Basically kind of getting people involved or getting candidates involved. That is what I want to come to the board and ask for $1,500 as our phase one in the for the election cycle. So this is the initial start. With this $1,500, basically it would be funding for some flyers where we could get the word out that, hey, the UNNC has upcoming elections, and get some candidates going, all of that stuff, kind of put the word out that, hey, if you want to be involved. I do want to mention that some people were coming into the elections committee meetings wanting to get involved. They didn't join today, but they were there, and so we did give them more information. So that's a little bit of the overview, a little bit of the background of what has been happening since last month. Basically, we had a total of 4 meetings, if I'm not mistaken, where we discussed this at length. And so to cover the first phase, which is getting candidates, which is setting out the word out about this, we would need around $1,500 for that. Yes.
Since there's obviously phases, have you guys actually put together a budget for the whole?
No, not yet. Yeah.
Okay, because it would be really useful to know kind of what total amount we're looking at and how it's distributed so that we can be
Well, we
most
have-
effective in those
Well,
expenditures.
here's the answer right now, Candace, she did give us a total budget,
Mhm.
and it was,
We talked about rolling it out in phases of $1,500 twice or three times, depending on how many times we need it. So the election committee had about 5.
Okay.
so, but, Chris, by way of explanation, the phases for the election, the first phase is getting candidates. Now, if we do a good job, we need to spend a lot more money for phase 2 and 3. Because we have candidates and there'll be a real election. If we don't do a good job, or even if we do a great job and it didn't work, then it changes things. So phase 2 is the part where people need to know that there's an election coming up. And in order to vote, they need to request a ballot from the city clerk. And so they need to know how to do that. And we need to get word out, and, we've had events around that in the past. And then the third phase, if we do it in 3 phases, is hey, now that you have your ballot, don't forget to come meet the candidates and then send your ballot back, because there's no voting day. It's all absentee, vote by mail. So that's the third phase. We're not there yet. We just, as he said, just convened. So we have, these are line item budgets. We can't just do a broad thing. So he's asking for $1,500 for specifically for printing and mostly for printing. For
No,
this
I mean, that
phase.
was perfectly clear. That
Yeah.
was not, no.
Right, but is it clear that we have to do line item budgets, so we don't have a line item budget to present for voting for phases 2 or 2.3, in other words,
Okay.
the remainder of the election cycle.
So I have a question to the election committee. In our neighborhood council organization, we already have areas defined that cover the full footprint of UNC. Is there a plan to activate through your area reps, because they are as close as we can inherently get to the communities that they represent, to utilize both candidate recruits and to get all the
Yeah.
processes?
Yeah, so there is a plan called Eat One, Bring One, where we talk with every board member for our December meeting to actually bring someone that would be interested to join the governing board. That is something that you would be able to do. Aside from that, we did talk about using social media and getting in contact with the individual areas to do so. That is a plan. It all also depends that because Empower LA is requiring the board or the UNNC to make a decision, basically. Do you guys want to stay with the election process or the selection process? I have to give you all this background because that's going to impact how we actually move forward, right? Yeah, so the motion would be like,
I move that we stay with the election.
yeah, so.
Committee.
Yeah.
Committee.
Well, you're moving off of the committee. So, well, let me just, by what Laura speaking by way of explanation, because we have somebody new. The committee makes a motion.
Okay.
And then anyone who was participating in the committee does not make the second. So somebody else makes the second.
Okay, so the elections committee makes a motion that we stay with the. I move that the UNNC stays with the election process and does not opt in to the selection process.
Hey, hey, Laura.
Well,
So before you move on, so only board members can make motions? No,
Yeah,
not
he's a board
committee
member.
chair. Oh, he is a board member?
Yes, he is.
Oh,
Oh, you missed the last meeting.
yeah,
So,
okay. I thought he was my
Yeah,
apologies. I thought I thought you were an election chair. My apologies. I left early the last meeting. Oh, so never mind. The other thing is there any questions between selections and that whole
No.
process from the board?
No.
What happened?
He was thoroughly.
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
You guys got it? Okay, thank you.
What was the question?
Was there any question?
Did we have
other process?
like for us, if we want to go to the selection.
Oh,
No, we're not interested.
Alright, so do I say the motion again or? Okay, so to repeat the motion, I, Edward Martinez, move. I move to stay with the election process for UNNC for this cycle and not opt into the selection process.
well, this is Dolores, I second.
All right, we're gonna call for the vote.
Yes, 1 second. There were.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
So people mentioned, we're here, but we can go back.
Oh, for everyone, oh, the people that are on the election
Yeah,
committee,
there's a lot of things.
can people who are on the election committee be candidates again, or they cannot?
Yes.
We're not for that. They can be candidates, we just can't be the chair.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is agenda item 6.2.
6-2.
Okay, and we haven't voted on 6.1.
We haven't
No,
done
not yet.
6-1, we haven't done 6-3. We have to do all three of them.
Dolores.
yeah.
Hunter,
Yes.
Candace, Laura,
Yes.
Edward. Yes. Sarah, Paula,
Yeah.
Robert,
Yes.
Grace.
Yeah.
I'm a yes. Teresa.
Yes.
Michael. Yes. Chris.
Yes.
Diana.
Yes.
Marco.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Comment, for the elections committee, I think that you should, propose the board members, current board members who will not be continuing a term. So you'll have that information of what seats will be open. Yeah, because, June 2025, I'm done. I won't be running again or anything. So there might be others on the board.
Yes.
You have to, the seats that would be open.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I'll be reaching out to everybody who is basically up for election, kind of touching base and seeing what that. Yeah.
I think after 12 years, I need to get off this board. Give somebody else a chance.
He's gonna mess up. He'll be back.
Before you do, bring one. Yes, but no, definitely, I will definitely keep in touch, start getting in touch once we just needed to get all of this settled down. We kind of had to hit the ground running and kind of do a lot of stuff going on. That was the first part of it. The second part, the second part is now the budget. Now that we know where we're going, I moved to request $1,500 for the printing of postcards, banners, etc., for phase 1 of the election cycle. Election outreach cycle.
I second.
So who before you?
Your name is?
Your name?
Oh, Paula Southern. I second. He was like, who am I?
How dare you? Dolores.
Yes.
Hunter.
Yes.
Candace.
Yeah.
Laura.
Yes.
Edward. Yes. Sarah. Paula.
Yeah.
Robert.
Yes.
Grace.
Yes.
I'm a yes. Teresa.
Yeah.
Michael. Yeah. Chris.
Yes.
Diana.
Yes.
Marco.
Yes.
Ever, can you please, get that document from, printing vote, that email? And get it to Laura so it goes into the agenda packet, so
Is,
someone goes back.
is that a new document from Printing Co, or is it the one we had the other day?
It's a quote, yeah, it's a quote.
Same quote we had the other
Yeah,
day?
but it needs to be in this agenda packet, so if
Oh,
someone goes in
okay.
to look at it, they can see why we voted on.
Well, I have a funding request in the agenda.
Okay,
Well,
well, I can send that, I can send the update, all of that, I can send that to her.
Well, it's all,
To put it-
it's all in,
but it's not in this agenda packet, you just said it wasn't.
that's correct.
That's true.
Okay.
Yes, I'll send. Yeah. Oh, so number 3, the other part, the last big thing that we have to talk is that we have a couple of Group A seats that are vacant, right? And so we have quite a way until, so, yeah, Group A are seats that expire in 2025, right? Yeah, at the end of 2025.
So we have Group B, some Group B seats that are available.
No, Group A.
We have,
The agenda says Group A.
Yeah,
so Group A is 2027.
no, I'm
No,
Group B.
I'll try. We have 12 seats that the clerk and everybody else will recognize as up for election. And that's automatically on the ballot because the clerk can read our bylaws. We also have unfilled an area 1 and an area 4 representative seat for the term that expires in 2027. We would like to add those 2 seats to the ballot so that instead of 12 seats, there'd be 14 seats on the ballot. The clerk may or may not allow us to do this, but she said do a vote and send me a memo. You know, that's what the clerk said. And then one of the issues that then came up is, well, what if somebody really good applies next month to have the seat? And the answer we as a committee came up with, fine, we could appoint them to the seat through June 30th of 2025, but if they want the seat through 2027, they should run.
All right, we have a hand up,
So,
identify.
Marco,
That'd be you.
Yes. This works. Unfortunately, I'm gonna vacate my seat soon because I am moving. I'm in the transit of, the paperwork's getting done right now. I don't have a date yet. This might be my last might be my last meeting. I don't know yet, but my seat probably. I have to be on that. I mean, I was looking for a place nearby, but I have a large dog, so it's hard to like get a place. But I'll be moving towards Florence and like Compton area.
So Dunn's policy is different than our bylaws. So our bylaws basically sort of say, you gotta be here if you're gonna be on the board. Dunn's policy is you can complete your term, but his term ends at the end, June 2027. So that doesn't seem appropriate either. So the suggestion from Alfonso was that, and this could go any different direction, that Mark would be allowed to keep the seat through June of 2025 if he wanted it. And we keep that seat on the ballot as well. So
For 2027. For the next.
through 2027.
And just when you were getting to.
I know. I mean, I'm still.
So it sounds like either way, we need to have a seat on the ballot. But the separate question is how long Marco can retain the seat. Right, so, but we should probably in the motion, sort of make it.
Maybe
Yeah.
you should have 2 motions. This is Teresa. Marco, do you want to?
Yeah, I would like to finish up to June. That would be great. That would be my preference, but if anyone feels different, then that's okay with me as well. No, I'm just saying.
We have someone this is Grace speaking, we have someone who's willing to come to meetings and do the work. We want you to stay.
So that would make a
So I'd like to make a motion that we retain Marco's.
we don't need to vote on that.
You just said we need to have something to give to the clerk.
No, we don't need to vote on Marco staying to give to the clerk. What we need to give to the clerk is a request to add 3 seats to the ballot that are 2027 seats. Which the clerk may say yes, and may say no, but yeah, did you have?
Yeah. I was gonna announce it at the end, but can we make it work because I start my internship in January
Oh,
and I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm glad there's no way I can. They're doing anything now and you guys need somebody who's actually.
So one at large,
stuff.
group A, or whatever the
I
group is,
2027, so
2027. All right, so
I'm sorry.
So the motion.
No, we're really sorry.
No,
We are really sorry.
but
We are really.
if you get that, sorry, if you're that, yeah.
Oh,
So,
don't forget to bring one.
so let's. So the motion would be to, and I'm gonna try and say this really well for the record and for recording. This is Laura moving that we request that the city clerk add 4 additional seats to the ballot, all 4 of which are scheduled not to expire until 2027, and they are Area 1, Area 4, Area 6, and 1 at large. That's the motion. Motion number 1, that's the motion.
Okay, we'll need a second.
And it can't be from the.
All right, Chris Carlson, second.
And we need a BAC.
All right, and we need to be,
One is being drafted up here. All right, so I'm sorry, who's the motion was Laura?
yes.
Second was Chris Carlson.
All right, Dolores,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Candace,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Edward,
Yes.
Sarah, Paula,
Yes.
Herbert,
Yes.
Grace. Yes, Teresa,
Yeah.
Michael, yes, Chris,
Yes.
Diana.
Yeah.
Marco.
Yes.
And the second part of the same idea, the second motion, I don't know if we have to have a BAC, but it was what the committee was recommending is that
This is the election committee.
the election committee had recommended that for those seats, if a candidate shows up, when a seat is vacant, at this point, we can utilize our new bylaws clause that allows us to make an interim appointment until the end of June twenty
So
twenty-five.
would you need to have a BAC for that? Would you?
No, I don't think we need a
So you're
BAC.
just making a point.
Yeah, but I think we need to, I think we should discuss in panel just so we're all on the same page with
Yeah.
that. What do you think, Bruce? Do you think we need a BAC?
No, we don't need a BAC, but I disagree. I mean, I think.
Would you rather have it
If there's
vacant?
someone who wants an appointment now, during the middle of an election year, you need to run.
Oh, yeah, they would need to run for office. This would be
No, but
interim. It would expire at the end of June. The appointment would expire at the end of June.
and you.
For quorum purposes.
To
Quorum.
maintain quorum.
Yeah, to maintain quorum. I mean, it sounds like we already have 2 of those seats are vacant. One's gonna be vacant quickly. And at the moment, Marco is saying, I want to keep mine, but he may not like the commute. So
We have 2.
we got to,
That's right.
right? So anyway, Chris?
Well, I think there's well, as quorum, I think it also gives us the opportunity to people truly interested or stepping up, that we get them on board, they get exposure. And so they will, I think we'll have better candidates when they run for that office,
Well,
because they're not,
Yeah.
because we have candidates who run for offices and then we lose them in.
yeah, well,
As
noting
soon as
that
they find out there's work in.
or testing, noting that the candidate filing system probably precedes any such appointment. The candidate filing period begins a month from yesterday and ends in mid-January. So I don't think we're gonna be making any of these interim appointments before that anyway. But it may be that some of the candidates would want to beef up their politically, hey, I'm already on the board by doing that. I don't know.
When will be getting this information from the printer?
We have a,
That we just spent $1,500.
No, that information's already there, yeah.
or.
This is Teresa. I can answer that question for you, Dolores. It's not in the file, but Edward did talk to Esteban, and he gave us estimates for postcards, for 3 banners, and for an adhesive that we can put on Gramercy, the interior of this Gramercy window. The estimate came in around 1,200. We're asking for 1,500. There was one other incidental, which I can't remember. But as soon as we approve it tonight and get the BAC, then he's gonna talk to Esteban and get started.
Yeah, the incidental was potentially paying for boosting on Facebook or other similar things. Yeah, it was, in other words, almost identical to what we've done in most elections.
Yeah, I was just wondering because around the middle of December, I'm gonna be gone. So I would need material to send out to people before that.
Oh, yeah, well, the filing starts on December 6th. So, yeah, we need to start. Yeah, we're behind in April.
Yeah, there's a 3-day turnaround, so we should.
Okay, so do we need to vote on this appointments thing or no?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right, because it's in our bylaws. You have more. You have more.
Oh, maybe.
It's almost 8:30.
Yes, yeah, I apologize.
Next month, you said? Is that be, is?
Yes.
When is our next meeting?
Like
Well-
2 days before.
One day before,
Yes,
so.
yes, so, I was,
Are we
Yeah.
voting any more things from this? or-
I don't think so. I don't think we're voting on this no one. Yeah, the other thing is for December, for a December meeting and celebration. That was the main thing of, since already the filing process would be open and everything. The idea was that each board member would bring someone that they find or that they see that is interested. In joining the board and seeing what it looks like, and since it's in December, it's gonna be a little more festive and you have a little bit of a look of what actually a meeting consists of and all this other stuff. So that would be the first kind of kickoff to
So we're
whatever.
setting up the truck.
Whatever.
Okay.
In other words, a little bit, but more is just, more than anything, it's just that if you already have someone that is interested, right? If you already know someone that is interested, that would be a great opportunity to bring them along, and if they have any questions, anything that they wanna clarification on, we can help them with, the application process, all that other stuff, we can do that day. That is the main crux of it.
Yeah, and, well, we already voted last month that for December, we're gonna have some sort of a festive spread. So we'll have a festive spread. We still haven't decided, are we eating first? Because Dolores didn't like it last year when we had to make you wait.
Yeah, I would
Until
say.
the end.
She was hangry.
You say hangry. She was, or maybe we can have appetizers, a quick meeting and then dinner. That might be the nicest way to do it, but we're hoping everyone can bring someone, but we're also hoping we have much better RSVP, because we're also, well, the funding program has loosened up, so we can now go back to have. But we cannot spend more than $10 per person. So we can't be spending, say, $300 unless we know for sure there's 30 people. So while RSVPs are not required for obviously open public meetings, we're gonna try and do something to make sure that we don't end up violating that other rule. Because we can't be welcoming with a miserable spread that runs out. So, and one of the reasons we thought we should do this is sort of asking people, how did they join the board? And it's like Candace said, well, my friend asked me to join, or, we did, a lot of us came because someone talked to us about it. So that's kind of the idea. Alfonso.
Hey, Laura, so one of the ways you can address that whole situation with the food is either creating like a sign-in sheet where people just walk in. I know it's not allowed under the Brown Act, right? It's not a requirement.
Right.
So if they
Right.
refuse to identify, they can just put John Doe or or like an alias or whatever. You don't have to check IDs. So that's another option, so you can keep track of how many people are at your meetings, and that's a quick solution.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Alfonso, remember to bring one in December.
Exactly. So anyway, so that was the, obviously, we've tried so many other things in recent election cycles, so we're trying something.
All right, thank you. Yes, any questions, anything else?
Marvelous job.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The next meeting.
Oh, for the next meeting, we're having a joint meeting with Hunter and the communications team, just because it's it's a lot of overlap.
Yeah.
And that is.
And the holidays are
Yeah, the holidays are coming up.
So it's
November the 14th.
November the 14th.
No, 12.
November
the 12th.
November the 12th. November the 12th, yes.
Next Tuesday.
Has the meeting and the thing for the HP.
Oh, okay.
So,
It's all on Zoom. Yeah.
And community.
Yeah, yeah, both of us, so Yeah, feel free to join, stop by.
And that is November 12th.
12.
7 p.m.
Pick mine.
Okay, cool, I'll show you next.
Okay. Let's see.
Funding request coming up next,
I think we can table, because they're not in a hurry, the world.
For the World Harvest?
Well, they're not here. There was some bit of controversy related to World Harvest in the recent election. I want to get more information before we donate.
all right, then the next, funding request, South Seas House, $400 for the annual Winter Wonderland event.
Okay, so that we were out, we don't have paperwork. The South Sea House has basically no funds for decorations and events. That is, I don't know why, there's a long explanation that maybe Teresa has some hint of, but they have asked for our support. It turns out that as the clerk keeps updating the funding program, it used to be that a neighborhood council could vote to transfer funds to another city department. So if the Recreation and Parks wanted $800 for something, we wanted to vote, and then it's just a transfer. So the only way we can provide funds to any park, you know, or library, apparently, I mean, unless if they either have to have a Friends of group, the parks do not have 501c3 nonprofit Friends groups. There is a citywide Friends group, in effect, charitable for the park system, but not for individual parks. So it is not an option to do MPG. It is an option to co-sponsor events. I don't think we want to do that, and they don't plan them far enough in advance. The other two options are like we did with the West Adams Avenues and the Jazz Under the Stars. They can invoice us for, this from the clerk's point of view. If they can invoice us for a table for our outreach, for example, for the election outreach, we can pay an invoice. And the other option would be, we ask the council office to do a motion on the council floor to authorize the neighborhood council to donate money to a park. So for $400, it seems like not worth asking the council for this. So the only way to do this funding request would be if the park can invoice us $400, and then we have an outreach table at the winter, its new name is the Winter Holiday Festival. And it's being held either on the second Saturday or the third Saturday of December. They don't even know yet for sure which Saturday. So I'm not making a motion yet. I think there should be discussion. Yeah, I think there should be discussion.
Yeah, Michael can run the question. Is this the same thing where they're gonna bring in the snow blower?
That's what they're hoping. I mean, what we used to call Winter Wonderland, and for some reason they're even changing the name and they don't know the date.
What is that? I thought the district called it.
That's why I was asking.
Well, right, that's why they don't know the date, because they don't know when the council district might be bringing in snow.
So we want to try to support the South Seas House. But the council district is having an event there. And what we are asking is if we can have a table at this event where we could share information about, do some outreach, but we're going to give those funds to the
South Seas House, if they're able to invoice them. If they're not able, meaning in their own rules, if they're not able to invoice us, we're not spending them.
And Ashley has not gotten back to you on if they can invoice or not?
She has not gotten back to me on whether or not we can invoice, but since we don't have another meeting, you know, we really.
Well, I'd like to make a motion that we support the South Seas House by getting a table so we can do outreach, especially since we have elections coming up, for $400.
I second that. What's your name? Hunter.
Okay, so Teresa moves and Hunter seconds. Well, he's reading his minutes from the audio.
Yeah.
Just for
clarification, since it's for election outreach, does that come out of the election?
It comes out of the outreach budget
Okay,
as opposed to the elections budget.
okay.
Yes, because it's a table.
Because it's a table. I mean, we'll have other materials.
Okay, Elizabeth, I'm hearing that.
Elizabeth, behind you.
Hi, Elizabeth. I would like to add this to this event and any other event that they make an effort to be as sustainable.
That they do what?
They make an effort to, during the event, be as sustainable as possible in the materials and the practices. I'll go get a compost bin and to have there for any food leftovers to go into a compost bin, to go into a green bin instead of in the trash. It's little things that they could help raise awareness and better put it into practice.
That's a suggestion, that's not an amendment to the motion, is it?
Well, we got. I just.
I'm sorry. Laura apologizes.
I just to acknowledge you, Elizabeth, yes, maybe that's something we can ask to have a green, I mean. Last year's event, I think we just had blue and black, but maybe we can ask for green bins. And encourage people to put their food items on.
Yeah.
It is a lot. So they should have, right? And I'm happy to be on hand to help people understand it. It's part of that table and says, for example. Thank you very much. Because plates are not focusing on here, right? You're supposed to break. Oh, the plates. Yeah. So there's paper and the what the paper like this. Each of us doing that. Okay, so this one's coded. Yeah. Although it says it's off compostable.
Oh, okay, moving on, we have a motion on the floor.
Are we amending it to?
No.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so, Dolores,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Candace,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Edward,
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Paula,
Yeah.
Herbert,
Yes.
Grace,
Yeah.
Me.
yeah, Teresa.
Yes.
Michael. Yes. Chris.
Yes.
Diana.
Yes.
Marco.
Yes.
And while we're updating that, you know what, it just hit me, Marco is our secretary. So when Marco leaves, not only do we need a seat, but we need a secretary. So
But
just be thinking of.
Sorry, what in the words?
No, this side of the house.
Okay, now we're getting to that time and then we're getting silly.
Okay, this is Teresa. I also want to chime in on what,
Just a minute.
Paula just said about being a secretary. Marco also handles our technology.
Oh,
So, if we lose him, it's double,
Double trouble.
triple.
It's all right, I'll try to bring someone from the board into that.
For secretary and. Okay, planning and zoning.
Okay, so, this is Laura speaking. The Planning and Zoning Committee is proposing a community impact statement. Do you want to see the city council motion? Or do you just want to see what we're proposing about, to write about the motion?
What you're writing about.
Yeah, just show us. Quick. Yeah.
No, I'm done with you now. Okay. So basically, and thank you Alfonso for sending us the alert on this one. City council is basically requesting that building and safety, evaluate and explain the differences from their perspective between a remodel project and a demolition project. And the reason they're asking for this is that all of a sudden they're like somehow coming up for air and realizing all throughout the city people are applying for remodeling, but they're only leaving one vertical stud and a little corner of a foundation, and they're calling it a remodel instead of calling it a demolition. And the reason they may be doing that is to retain non-conforming rights.
Okay,
And
now get to the motion.
so it's up there on the screen. The committee, Planning and Zoning Committee drafted this community impact statement. And we're saying UNC considers this to be very important. We have seen a number of situations within our own boundaries and nearby where a builder or developer has applied for the remodeling permit, but instead, in the end, nearly the entire building was removed. And it was replaced with new construction, sometimes a new use, often not resembling anything that was there before. The municipal code, however, requires, trying to figure out how to scroll.
That remodels retain at least 50% of an original structure's
Right.
footprint.
Right.
Qualify.
Right, so, and in addition, and so this is something close to our heart, another section of the municipal code requires that building and safety notify the local neighborhood council and the city council office and immediate neighbors, and also post on the property when someone applies for demolition. They do not have that requirement when someone applies to remodel. So these near demolitions are happening without any of that notification. So, we don't think that's good. So, and last but not least, when the city revised the HPZ ordinance in recent years, the planning department, faced with this issue, created its own definition of what constitutes demolition due to the same problems and concerns. So that definition only applies within HPOZs, but it's evidence of a much more widespread problem. So there's UNC supports the motion and urges the city of Concord to expeditiously approve it with a reasonably short reporting period until the safety. Okay. The motion is to adopt this community impact
Chris
statement.
Carlson seconds the motion to adopt.
Is there any discussion?
No.
No, we're about to.
Okay.
Dolores. Hunter,
Yes.
Candace.
Yeah.
Laura.
Yes.
Edward.
Yeah.
Sarah. Paula.
Yes.
Robert.
Yes.
Grace.
Yes.
Anita. Teresa.
Yes.
Michael. Chris.
Yes.
Diana.
Yeah.
Mark.
Yes. All right. Is there any follow-up on previous cases?
No.
You know.
If I can, I probably should have said this for general comments, but on Wednesday's city council meeting, they heard the appeal of 1848 Gramercy. Some of the people in this room know about that. And our councilwoman reported the appeal, and the city council agreed, so that project is on hold.
I have to walk away.
Oh, well, not detail, but it's a development project. It's, so
Is there information in our notes or in our packet?
previous months. Yeah, previous months. I mean, this has been going on, yeah.
Okay, so just go ahead and look at it.
Yeah, so anyways, the city council supported the community position on it. Wow.
Oh, and there was one other on the corner of St. Andrews and Jefferson. I think that project is on hold as well.
Yeah, it's been
Burger place?
no.
Not
this
the
is-
burger place, no, it was
So there was a proposed 6-story building, new construction
right.
at Jefferson and St. Andrews. It sounds like it proved to be financially infeasible. And there's a new proposal that we haven't seen yet. That is to instead adaptively reuse the existing building for housing. And maybe do some construction with in the parcel, but we haven't seen it. I don't know if that's financially feasible either.
All right, committee reports, communications.
Oh, yeah, just real quick. So going through the website for all committee chairs, I believe we talked about this a few weeks ago, but we want to synchronize people's mission statements on their page. Right now, some are bullet points, right now, some are paragraphs. So I want all committee chairs to put together a mission statement. It's in a paragraph form, just a couple sentences long. The communications committee is going to be the mission of UNNC's communications committee is to foster transparent and inclusive communication between the neighborhood council and stakeholders through the use of public outreach and digital media. We strive to maintain open lines of communication with neighbors, ensuring the timely dissemination of information while actively encouraging feedback to better serve our community. 2 sentences, quick paragraph, if everyone, all committee chairs could have one for me, and by December's meeting, that would be good.
All right, any questions?
Okay.
Yes, yeah, I'll send a reminder, I'll send an email out. for everyone
That
here
would
as
be
well.
good. Okay.
I have Tori called. So you might remember that Tori, this is Laura speaking. Tori, our homelessness liaison chair, did say she was resigning at the end of December. However, she called me today and she says, I am doing the homeless count at the end of January. So I feel the resignation gets pushed a little. But I have a request. I need someone, unless Hunter's already agreed to do it, to run the meeting, the Zoom
Oh,
meeting.
yeah.
You have agreed.
I haven't talked to her, but I can. You and I talked.
Yeah, okay, because I'm not able to do it and Teresa's not able to do it. And
Can you just remind me of the date?
The
Next Thursday, right?
23rd.
So 20th.
the 23rd. And she's going to want us to do our usual, bring everybody together at the homeless count. Which is the 4th Thursday in January. So she's coming to executive with a funding request. She used the word chili again. I did remind her that the guy who makes chili didn't want to cooperate with the city and give all her personal information. So that we ended up buying Subway sandwiches. The clerk loves Subway sandwiches. And she said, I remember Subway sandwiches. We had chili. And it's like, you had both, but we brought Subway sandwiches. Anyway, so we'll have, I mean, we're trying to keep the agenda really brief for our December meeting, but it's, oh my God, this is happening, that's happening, this happening. So by the way,
There was some good chili though.
I know, but somebody else paid for it.
And just as a reminder, when we did the homeless count, we all met, we were given areas and we walked the area or drove the area, and then we counted people that we saw on the street. It was sad, it was interesting, and kind of amazing to really look at your neighborhood like you may not have looked at it. All right, is there any other old business? Any other comments?
Oh, I'm sorry, I want to tell, Grace, Korean agreed to this. The Public Safety Emergency Prep Committee this month is also on the 3rd Monday instead of the 2nd. The 2nd Monday is holiday again. So,
Yes,
Got a question, I guess, planning is on.
this is Edward Dunn
Yes,
speaking.
I'm just curious, have we looked at the situation before you? What is the status of that situation?
besides, I can't say the words in a polite company.
Well, I mean, just.
Okay, come on.
Okay, yeah. The situation with the tow company is that they're just operating without any permits to allow them to operate. So I had asked that neighbors in particular who are able to start taking photographs, but sending them via email. So I've started getting text photos. That doesn't work because we need to compile them and then email them in to building safety and city planning.
Okay, so the answer is we're still working.
Well, they're still working without permit, and that means Chris has her hand up, because she's been more involved.
Now that the election's over, could we maybe outreach to our city council person and try to get this issue elevated on the roster for CD10 to help push that the right things happen with building safety in terms of resolving their permit.
Well, that's why I was hoping we could collect photographs of all the violations. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But again, by email, not the text.
Okay, I don't want to.
Right.
Left in the meeting, but I would like, because I got some information that can be.
Okay.
One quick question, Dolores, speaking, I was curious about Steve Heckman had come to one of our meetings and had asked us to do a support letter. Have them letters been done, been sent into the city? Okay, I was just wondering.
If you're asking, have we had any response?
Okay. I just want to know if they've been done.
Any other comments?
Old business,
Okay,
the Western Heights tree replacement program, all the beds are ready and we're waiting for the first serious rain to get good moisture in the soil. And, you know, we don't know exactly when that be, but we'll be ready as soon as, we'll be replanting shortly after that.
all right, wonderful, thank you.
So it's,
All right, and on that good note, this meeting is adjourned at 8:47 p.m.
thank you, everyone. I know.
Oh.